Stop scrolling and listen closely. Imagine walking into a dealership in Europe or even the USA and driving out with a brand new electric car for just $16,800. That's not a typo, $16,000. And before you say, oh, that must be some tiny golf cart on wheels, nope. This thing has a 600-kilometer range, a sleek design, and the kind of tech you normally see in cars double its price. It's called the Xpeng Mona M03, and it's already selling like crazy in China. Now it's getting ready to storm Europe, and yes, the US could be next. So smash that subscribe button right now, because if this car actually lands at that price, it could be the biggest EV price war in history, and you'll want to know every detail first. Here's why the Mona M03 is already giving Tesla and Volkswagen sleepless nights. In China, it sells for just under 120,000 yuan, about $16,800. That's less than half the price of a Tesla Model 3. And people aren't just browsing, they're buying. In August alone, Xpeng sold 15,334 units of this car. From January to August 2025, 117,443 units. That's insane volume. For context, that's more than some legacy automakers move in their entire lineup over a year. Now let's take a proper walk around this thing. Up front, you've got slim LED headlights that look like they're constantly judging your life choices, connected by a sleek light strip that gives it a futuristic spaceship-like stare. The nose is smooth and sculpted with no oversized fake grille, just clean, aerodynamic curves designed to slice through the air with a drag coefficient of only 0.194. That's insanely slippery, more efficient than many Teslas and even some hypercars. Translation, better range and better road presence. Move to the side and you notice the liftback sedan profile. Coupe-like roofline, stretched wheelbase, and short overhangs. It's sporty but still practical enough that you can load up groceries, luggage, or even a folded stroller in the back. The flush door handles pop out when you need them, turbine-style alloys scream premium, and those sharp body creases catch the light in a way that makes it look way more expensive than its $16K price tag suggests. And the rear? Oh, it's a statement. A razor-thin LED light bar stretches across the entire trunk, connecting with sculpted corners that give it width and aggression. The integrated spoiler is subtle, but it ties the design together, and even the lower diffuser has a sporty kick. Honestly, slap a Tesla or even a Polestar badge on it, and most people wouldn't question it. That's how convincing this design is. And if you're digging the way this thing looks, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button right now, because we're only scratching the surface. The interior and the bigger EV battle this car is about to ignite are even crazier, and you don't want to miss it. Step inside the Mona M03 and you'll honestly forget this thing costs under $17K. Front and center is a massive touchscreen that controls everything, maps, media, charging, you name it, paired with a crisp digital driver display that looks far more premium than what you'd expect at this price point. The cabin is lit with ambient lighting that can flip from romantic date night to full-on Fast and Furious cosplay at the tap of a button. The seats are genuinely cushioned and supportive, not the rock-hard budget stuff you're used to, and in higher trims you even get faux leather that feels pretty convincing. Look up and you've got a panoramic glass roof in select versions, flooding the cabin with light and making it feel way more spacious than a car in this price bracket has any right to. Storage is clever too, a deep center console, a roomy glove box, USB-C ports everywhere, and yes, even wireless charging for your phone. And of course, the real magic is under the skin, up to 600 kilometers of range, paired with customizable regenerative braking modes that let you cruise, coast, or go full one-pedal wizardry. This isn't just a cheap EV, it's the kind of car that makes you stop and wonder, wait, what corners did they even cut? And if you're impressed so far, go ahead and hit that like button, because if this car actually lands in Europe or the US at $16,800, we might be witnessing the end of overpriced EVs as we know them. Here's the thing. Xpeng isn't just throwing cars at the wall to see what sticks. They've got a calculated strategy. In Europe, they're setting up an R&D hub in Munich, Germany, right in Volkswagen's backyard, and are already talking about local production to dodge those painful EU tariffs on Chinese-made cars. And it's starting to work. In Germany alone, sales hit 283 units in August. Small numbers, sure, but that's a 700% jump year over year. That's not growth, that's an invasion plan in motion. Do you think Europeans are ready to ditch Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes for a Chinese EV at half the price? And for Americans, this is where it gets really spicy. US buyers have been begging for an affordable EV. Tesla promised a $25K Model 2, but it's still vaporware. GM hyped the $30K Chevy Equinox EV, but delays in dealer markups are killing the buzz. If Xpeng actually drops the Mona M03 in the US for $16,800, it wouldn't just turn heads, it would send shockwaves through Detroit and Silicon Valley. Regulators and lobbyists would scramble, but consumers, they'd be camping out overnight like it's the new iPhone. Would you actually trust a Chinese EV brand over Tesla or GM if the price difference was that huge? But here's the raw, unfiltered truth. China's EV market is a war zone. Price wars are slicing margins razor thin, dozens of brands are collapsing, and only a few will make it out alive. Even CEO Xpeng admits it. Only the strongest will survive. That's why going global isn't optional, it's survival. And if survival means offering a 600-kilometer EV for $16,800 in Europe and maybe even the US, well, good luck to anyone trying to sell you the same thing for $40K. That's not just competition, that's a declaration of war. Do you think legacy automakers can survive a price war like this, or will we see some big names fade away? So here's the million-dollar question. If Xpeng brings the Mona M03 to Europe and the US at this price, does it trigger an EV revolution that forces Tesla, Volkswagen, and GM into the biggest price war we've ever seen? Or do regulators and tariffs slam the brakes before the revolution even begins? Because make no mistake, this isn't just a car, this is a price bomb, one that could blow up the entire global EV market. Smash that subscribe button right now because the next chapter in this saga is coming fast, and trust me, you'll want front row seats. And drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you actually buy the Mona M03 for $16,800? Or would you still stick with Tesla, Volkswagen, or GM? Let's get the debate going. Until next time, remember, the EV revolution isn't on its way, it's already here. Wheel Factor, out.